InShalla and Ashe, welcome to the Daily Snippet. It is I, once again, Tonya D, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energy surgeon. Can't wait to chat about those frequencies. But it's Wednesday, November 24th, of all things. I am not sure if it's our feelings or our beliefs that might appear as the hardest to transform or really pay attention to, the merging of the two. But we put I think oftentimes our feelings under the rug and our beliefs sometimes become oppressed or unheard. But today we have the ability to transform all of this. So as our feelings start bubbling up to the forefront, be wise to those sensations and maybe go deep into those waters, the source, and just source out the feelings. Feeling stuck is generally a belief that's not flowing. So when we feel stuck, we have this negative spiraling belief and we can flip the spiral. Sometimes it's like our hands are locked or we're chained to the stuckness. But today we have a Yang Fire Rat Day, a Bing Z, which I kind of like the Bings and the Dings. But fire is a standalone in the energy today. And wood is actually hidden in the branch of the pig. We actually have an entire water frame. I just actually recognized that with the rat, the pig, and the ox. That's so water energy is like flowing literally the direction, the north direction. So that's kind of juicy, I would say. Yeah. But the water, all that water energy can put out the fire. So what to do, right? So fire is an action energy. It's the yang fire. Getting that fire in the flow. We need to really percolate, bring in more fire, actually. I think the earth probably balances out the water, but with a water direction, we definitely need more fire. If you're a fire day master and you don't have a lot of fire, today might feel like you're drowning or something's putting out your fire. So really, today's a day to speak your passion, get in the flow with your passion. The fire isn't really going to make any steam. Hopefully it'll warm those waters so we can get into the flow. The rat is charming and also an energy that enjoys a sociable and luxurious lifestyle, very altruistic. Reminds me of Templeton. Talk about that all the time, Templeton in Charlotte's Web, when it comes to others. But they do what needs to be done without any thoughts about it in return. But they can also be scavengers living off the garbage, leftovers from others. Even being a master strategist and a planner, that's when this energy is healthy and it's actually directed correctly. But if out of balance, the energy of the rat can cause a person to really lose it, strike out with rage, because rage is kind of acting out the anger, the energy of wood. They sometimes even hold on to the rage and then they explode all of a sudden. So letting it go, kind of, it's like detonating a bomb to the point, that they even surprise themselves. So an energy or an affirmation for the rat is like, I am adored. And this energy needs to feel the unconditional love of the universe, God universe, as expressed in our personal relationships. Otherwise, it's a feeling of abandonment and betrayal on a deeper subconscious level. So it's like the beneath and the beyond the betrayal one might feel from others. So there's this sense that he or she has been betrayed by God universe. So we all have this energy of the rat somewhere in our chart. So it's a thing. We have all the kind of these elemental beings somewhere energetically in our frequency. But the feelings of the rat energy could be amplified today. The floodgates could open up. We've got a lot of water, a total directional frame. So, that's there. Absolutely. So with the floodgates, if they could open up, things come forward with no filtration in the system, those emotional floodgates. So it's kind of wise to sit with our feelings, ground them for sure, go for a walk, skip to your favorite tune, exercise. That's kind of the best thing for me is movement that way. So whatever you do to ground your emotional field, that's the thing for you. That's the thing I would do. Whether it's meditation, chanting, toning, recalibrating your emotional field, our energetic centers, it centers us into the seat of our chamber. So with a fire day, feelings might be extra passionate as well. So really stay in the threads of positivity, your optimistic venue, or at least put your feelings in a positive state so your beliefs resonate to that frequency as well. So we have the go between, either they become inflamed or they become passionate. So ultimately, choose wisely, right? Go with the passionate threads. So growth comes from transformation of the old belief. So feelings are important, but it's also just as important or more so to identify what you believe about that feeling and then become your own investigative decoder. So, what do you believe those feelings mean to you personally? And make yourself feel cherished and also juicy. And given how you feel today, what changes would you make to feel better to flow forward? Water is also clarity, it's reconciliation, it's peace. So it's kind of getting clarity of our feelings through writing them down. That's a great way to also understand them. Or if you have a trusted friend, the non judgmental neutrality zone kind, um, you know, you could get with them and kind of fill out your energetic system, like get it in the flow so those feelings can dissipate and transform. So with the moon in Leo, our heart is shining that beacon of energy as well. So Leo is also our heart, but it's also the sun of our chart. So the sacral is online, our emotional beacon center. So I would sense our heart chamber as well. So that's colors of oranges, colors of greens. You could tone in the sacral sounds of Vam or the heart, the Yam, or do both. You can tone the sounds through both energetic centers, whichever feels goddess-like to you. So observe your thoughts today. Just be observing them, or just by observing them, you'll be more able to shift a belief system that no longer is serving you. So our heart channel is already willing and beaming ourselves to love a higher philosophy, taking a belief up a notch or 10. So I would listen to my podcast about Raguel if you feel the need to connect with this angelic being, friend of God, this energy while we're actually in the season of Sagittarius. That's kind of the frequency I'm feeling into. But the stone of the day, I picked the garnet, and I found this juicy picture. But the garnet, super stunning stone, it's this pomegranate stone. It gleams with a dark red luster that instantly stirs our soul. But it's a precious gemstone. It's long been known for its rich connection to creativity and love. And it comes with 1,000 stories to its name. It was said to have been the only light on Noah's Ark, making it as a stone that held every single note of hope that there was an olive branch waiting at the end of a great struggle. So beyond biblical text, the garnet can also be found in the fables of ancient Greece. Persephone, one of my favorites, is said to hold the key to where the garnet first came into being. The goddess of sunshine was actually captured by Hades and carried down into the underworld. And he tricked her into eating the gleaming pomegranate seeds, which were said to have bound her to him forever. However, Persephone needed to walk into the light of the sun and wasn't one to be kept shut away from the world. So she struck a deal with Hades that she would split her time between the earth and the world beneath, and that's how our seasons were born. So the Latin word for pomegranate is granitum, and one glance at these bright red stones reminds you of how these jewels actually got their name. So because of the tale of Persephone, the garnet has become a stone of courage and the power of positive thinking. It's also a talisman for travelers who are looking to find their way out into the world. It can be found gleaming in many corners of the world. It's been sourced in India, Madagascar, Sri Lanka, and beyond. And it's even glowing of sexuality. It's all fire and light, and it connects deeply to our root center, like all red stones, really. But also, it goes to work on our solar plexus and also our heart as well. There are different types of garnets. They come in different shades. We're going to stick with red, obviously, because that's what we're going with. But it's a healing stone, and the properties it has are just a bounty. Whether it's shimmering red, green, or gold, it's a stone that really serves up self-confidence, sexual energy, true sincerity. So if you need help with standing strong and proud in the earth plane, this would be the stone you could call in. If you have a low libido or issues around physical intimacy, bringing in the stone into your life could be the best solution for kickstarting your sexual prowess. A powerfully sexual stone, it's not afraid to light a fire in your loins, to bring a sweep of energy and to help you to feel ready to ask for what you want and also need between the sheets. So it radiates with warmth and the color of rich blood. It's also a stone to flush out body toxins and to keep our circulation strong. So it's a stone that wants to keep our blood flowing, which we need that today. And we also need this fire energy today. So, you know, our heart keeps beating, our metabolism is working to the best of its abilities. So if you're seeking a stone that'll help your body absorb a lot of nutrients, much needed ones, garnet is actually the stone for you. It's also a stone of commitment. If you're, need a helping hand in all things relationship-wise, it's adept at clearing out negative energies by flushing out toxins, not just from your body, but life in general. And it works closely with grounding all of our energetic centers to keep us safe and steady on our feet and less likely to slip into traps of self-doubt and jealousy and all those traits that can get in the way of forging a close-knit bond with your loved one. It's also highly uplifting. It's got those rich colors and the warming glow, and you just can't help feel supported and nurtured by its deep healing properties. So it's also this amazing talisman to have close for those times when you might feel the need to be balanced out. So it keeps you off the emotional roller coaster by ensuring our self-esteem is high enough to make healthy choices and that our approach to life comes from an optimistic, positive point of view. So if you feel like you're in a point of crisis or feeling lost, the garnet can talk us down off that existential and emotional ledge. It really kicks our survival instincts into touch. So that ensures that no matter what trouble is brewing, that we're at our best and we're equipped to handle it. But one of the main spiritual gifts you can get from the garnet is the grounding force from our root center, which we need, especially today. So it's our base center. It's one of the most important centers because it keeps us feeling safe and tethered rather than floating in space. And when we feel safe, we're actually able to make choices that are connected with our authentic self and our well-being. We're grounded. So it works well also with the sacral, which is the base of our creativity and also our sexual selves. So if you're seeking to stir up your chi, let light flow across these centers, it's kind of the amulet for amazing passion. So it really kind of flowed with the energy of today. That was a bit there. And then this is also, it all goes together. It's so funny. But I went with my elemental deck, my elemental forces of creation, the elementals. I felt this was a great deck because we need to ground. But the realm of spirit, the first card I pulled, that's our connection to the divine. It's the spark of our essence, our spirit. It's also our connection to what I call the goddess. So this is the connection to spirit. It's also where the energy of creation lives. Our inner connection to spirit, that's kind of our beacon, our guiding light or life to our own essence, the full expression of who we are out into the world. So both as above, so below, and the as within, so without. Those views are part of this ancient mystery. Lessons or teachings, So the as above, so below kind of axis, that represents the archetypal kind of perspective. But as within, so without mysteries, those are the inner world. Those are the teachings there. So we are the lens through which we kind of view all of life, our own life and others, whether it's our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, actions, our personal connections to spirit itself, the essence. They're all uniquely ours. And they're the way that we actually see the world. But our outer world will continually reflect our inner state of being. So if you don't like what you're seeing in your outer world, that's kind of a reflection of an inner cosmic state. So it's how, how is spirit teaching us through the as within, so without, those mysteries, those energies. So it's kind of a reflective kind of energy. And then I pulled the life force, which is from the fire realm, the realm of fire. And, fire is the action realm. That's where we're like, it's our passion, our dynamic. It's all the juicy things, really, fire, action. So this is where we kind of claim our personal power to let our light inside, our shining light, shine brighter and feel more passionate about all the juice that life has to offer us. And fire is also transformation, literally changing, shifting forms, where we have an old part dying within ourselves, so a new part can actually be born fresh and fresh anew. But life force, which I've pulled this card before, but this is part of our inner fire development. It's learning how to fully run our life force energy, our own life force energy. So as children, we're full of this vibrant life force energy. And as we become cultured, that energy gets controlled and increasingly it gets muted. So when you find ways to fully run your life force energy, you might find it changes your life in very potent, magical ways. And you find the power to really take your own action on your own behalf. And then you have the energy and the power to really energize your dreams. Yeah, so your body becomes more enlivened, and then you radiate, or your radiant self kind of begins to emerge out of your what I've been calling the chalice, your love chalice. It's starting to overflow. So you kind of have to ask yourself, what do you need to do to fully activate your life force? What that is for you, because it's different for all of us. And if we all had the same gifts, life would truly be boring. So I love to toot horns for other people too. And then I pulled the essence of expression, also a spiritual realm card. So again, this is the essence of spirit. The part of our spirit that we are, that's what makes our life and our creations unique. So our essence is like no others. I think it's as unique and as individual as our thumbprints. No two are the same. So its expression in the world is actually vitally important. It's like our own sacred garden, where every flower and garden brings unique qualities and colors and vibration and essence to the garden that actually makes up the garden. That's kind of who we are. And the same is kind of true in our life. A lot of people forget that the essence piece, that puzzle piece that they bring to the world, is tremendously important, whatever that looks like for you. But it's actually our reason for being and our purpose in life, or to bring the expression of who we are to the world. So you kind of want to ask yourself, what is seeking expression for you? And also, can you feel your own personal unique essence, what that is, that derivative of who you are? So I'm kind of feeling grounding our spiritual life force into the realm is kind of important today. Our life purpose, our belief in what our life purpose essence is, and feeling into that energy, because feelings give motion to the energy. We have to get it into the flow, especially we have that total water direction, which I just recognized. So that's also our feelings. So kind of feel into your spiritual essence. And an affirmation for today would be something like feeling juicy in all the day and in all the ways, and just releasing all the negative into those cosmic threads for recalibration to heal and transform the fire energy, the old, and just making room for the new. So I would say it's something like, I affirm I am the juicy feelings that reside within me. Feel them bubbling through, and your beliefs are actually transforming as well as the bubble through. You can have them even bubble out into the cosmic field. And beliefs also are your self mind, your self mind, like what you believe about yourself, that manifests. So it's better to keep our beliefs juicy and optimistic and in those higher threads. So yeah, InShalla, Ashe. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I will see you on the other side.